Miri, a coastal city of Sarawak, East Malaysia, is located near the border of Brunei on the island of Borneo. It is the second largest city in Sarawak with a population of about 230,000 people and is known as the birthplace of Malaysia's petroleum industry. The discovery of oil in 1910 on Miri's Canada Hill has a significant place in the history of modern Miri. Canada Hill is where the oil industry in Sarawak started with the successful drilling of the Miri 1 well in December 1910 by the Royal Dutch Shell Company. A 30-meter high rig, nicknamed the Grand Old Lady, was used to drill Malaysia's first oil well using the cable tool method. Miri well number 1 went on to produce a total of 660,000 oil barrels for the next 60 years until its closure in 1972 as Miri's oil production moved offshore. Since then, petroleum has continued to drive Miri's economy and development, transforming what was once a sleeping village into Sarawak's second largest city that is rich in history, diverse in culture, and really good local food. But sightseeing and tucking into great food is not the primary reason why I am in Miri on this trip. Besides the offshore oil fields that produce black gold, Miri's coastal waters also hold plenty of diamonds. Big Diamond Trevally, known locally in Malay as Ebek, congregate off Miri's shores every year between June to October. They are excellent fighters on light tackle and take plenty of line on the initial run. And on this trip, I'm here to see if Storm's latest slow-style jig will do the job. The new Storm Slow Rocker basically is designed to use in shallow waters and especially in slower tidal movement condition as well. As for the size itself, it is about 25% shorter in body length than our well-known Koika. And basically for the slow rocker, it comes in 4 sizes. We have the 40 gram, 70, 90 and 120. Off we go in search of Miri's diamond. It wasn't too long before my friend Atong got the first strike on the new slow rocker.
Yes! Yes! Okay, kita bagi dia lari dulu. Kita menyambar dalam. Yes.
There is a certain element of challenge trying to get an Ebek to take a jig, especially the bigger ones. They are not difficult to catch on jig, but not overly easy too. Having caught Ebek before in the east coast of Peninsular Malaysia, I thought using the same slow jigging strokes and techniques with the Gomoku Koika jig were likely to work here in Miri as well. As the day progressed, it soon became evident that this was not quite so. Meanwhile, my friend Atong was having a blast catching fish after fish on the slow rocker jig. I was not getting as many strikes as Atong, and I was noticing that he was doing a very simple lift and fall method. Whereas like for me, I have so used working the jig much more aggressively and a little bit higher up in the column. Whereas like for him, I noticed that because this water is kind of shallow, he was just moving the jig slowly with each turn, maybe about 1.5 to 2 meters, and let it drop again with very, very simple lift and fall method. Even though Atong and I were using the same slow rocker jig and similar jigging setup, his strike rate was much higher than mine. I need to change my style in order to get the fish. And so I begin to follow closely Atong's jigging strokes, lifting the rod tip very slightly to move the jig on the upstroke with little abrupt movements and allowing the jig's flutter to do the work on the fall. It was almost like yo-yoing. The result was obvious.
Yes!
You don't have to put too much drag on it. Critical is that you have enough line capacity, which I have about 300 meters here. I hope it's enough to stop the run, which is apparently is doing its job. Okay, do take notice when your line goes down the spool, the drag actually increases. So as you can see, I'm trying to adjust the drag every now and then so that I do not tear the delicate mouth of the Ebek. So it seems that it's a little bit tired. I'm increase the drag a little bit to put the fish in. Okay, it feels really heavy, and looking by the run, it is a good size Ebek for sure. Not bad size. Oh, 4-5 kilos. Oh, yes. Oh. All thanks to Atong, which has strongly recommend us to try the Ebek in this area. Hey. Oh.
Atong's slow and subtle approach for working the slow rocker was no fluke. My strike rate increased tremendously right after adopting his jigging style.
It's a very good take. I think it's a big one. Power. Let it run. Coming up slowly, slowly. Alright, not that fast. Okay, right.
Every jig is designed with an inherent lift and falling action, and finding the optimal jigging stroke for the jig to perform at its best requires constantly experimenting until it works for a given target species. The slow rocker is no different, and in this case, it clearly shows that it requires a more subtle jigging stroke to bring out the best fishing catching action. The beauty of having the opportunity to fish in different places is the experience of learning new ways and techniques to catch even familiar fish. Locals knows best, and on this trip, I'm very glad to have picked up some pointers from Atong on working the new slow rocker for Miri's Ebeks. Keeping an open mind to new ideas and taking new approaches to conventional ways not only widens our intellectual horizon and deepen our experience, It can also make a difference in whether we catch our targeted fish or not.